And is he still here?
Yeah, we're good.
There you go. Good job, Craig.
Yeah, Craig's figuring it out.
You know, anyone who doesn't know how Discord works is going to be very confused about who the hell Craig is.
Yeah, honestly.
I say we just leave it that way.
Yeah, it's fine by me.
Alrighty, so today we are joined by a guest and or member, depending on how long he decides to continue to show up. Trevor.
Hello.
He's the fourth horseman
Yes.
in the 3/4 of the horsemen, mainly because he doesn't show up.
Yes,
So,
I'm very bad about following
Ever.
through commitments.
Yeah.
I mean, which coincides pretty well with what
Yeah.
we're talking about today.
We were supposed to start this an hour ago, and he was taking a nap. So,
This man is terrible with commitment.
absolutely. So, in this podcast, we're talking about relationships and standards, and I feel like I should give a quick disclaimer here. None of us are experts. We're all teenage boys, and so just take everything with at least 3 heaping piles of salt. Aaron, I believe you have the first talking point here.
Yes, sir. So, some very important ground rules for myself when looking for a partner: physical appearance, hygiene, and the openness to physically touch in public. I mean, not like make out sessions, but just holding hands or hugging each other. You know, a constant reminder that you're still, loved and appreciated. For me, the physical appearance thing, I have to be attracted to you in order to have a successful relationship. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm a teenage boy. Who the fuck knows? But I have to find you attractive. And for me, that also coincides with weight. I don't want to date a massive lady. I don't mind a little bit of weight, right? But I work hard on my body, and I expect the same from my partner. And I don't want to see no gross, hygiene stuff. Right? You clean yourself. You keep your shit tidy. All right.
Right.
All right, David, you can go now.
I'm not sure if you're referring to literal shit or just the
Like,
figurative.
so like figurative. I mean, you can literal shit clean. I mean, that's not eat a bunch of mints.
That's not a problem. All right, so
Drink some bleach.
all of these things are obviously important to me. I have pretty, I guess you could say, liberal standards as far as it goes with physical appearance. I'd say I'm attracted to the vast majority of women, at least physically speaking. As long as you're not like morbidly obese, and by morbidly I mean your lifespan is literally shortened. Then I'm pretty much I'm fine with. All right, sorry about the little jump in audio there. Craig decided to hop out because he hates us. Zavery, I believe you were talking about hairiness on women.
Yeah, I would rather not date a girl with mustache or armpit hair because if I'm making out with the girl, I don't want to feel fuzzy shit. That'll make me want to throw up. But
Okay.
moving on to the openness with each other physically, I do agree that you have to show some physical affection in public. Because if I'm dating a girl that doesn't want to hold my hand in public, that either means that she doesn't want to be seen with me or she doesn't like me. So the reassurance that brings, just giving a little side hug while in the store is enough. So that's really all I have to say about physical appearance and standards.
Alrighty, and a quick disclaimer, real quick, before we move on to you, Trevor. Again, none of us are experts, and most of this stuff doesn't work for everybody. But these are just our personal opinions. So, Trevor, what do you think?
Well, for me, size doesn't really matter that much. Like, as long as you aren't obese or morbidly obese, I'm good with it, Hygiene, though, is very important to me. Listen, ladies, if you're on the bigger side, I'm fine with that. Just make sure those fat rolls are scrubbed clean. I don't want to find any dirt in between there. I want you to smell like a fresh flower whenever I'm with you. Okay? And openness with each other. I love it. I love holding your hand in public and everything because I feel like
Oh,
whenever
that's
I
nice
hold
for
your
that.
public and kiss you in public, I'm showing you off because I'm proud of you,
Yep. Yeah.
and that's how I feel.
Yeah. David, this is where you
You
go on to
sound
the next
like
one.
every weird teen Instagram commercial I've ever seen. I don't know. Very well put, Trevor. Alrighty,
Thank you.
so all of that stuff obviously matters to me, but what I find most important is the person's character. What kind of person they are, uh, what kind of potential they have for the future, those kinds of things. So, the first main issue for me is intellectual ability. I need someone that I can have conversations with about higher order complex issues, and for that, and I understand that this may rub some people the wrong way, but I need them to be able, I need them to be smart, for lack of a better word. You don't have to be Einstein. For me personally, I need someone um, with slightly above average intelligence so that I can actually discuss the things I'm interested in with them. These things are things like philosophy and religion and literature and things like that. And I need them to have the intellectual ability to discuss them and be able to, and have the same interests. Opinions themselves can differ, and I actually really enjoy conversation in which I disagree with the other person. But I need someone who's able to have those conversations. Second would be work ethic. I need a person who has the work ethic to succeed and not just get by. I'm more attracted to people who have higher grades, do better in their jobs, get promotions. People who are ambitious. And then the third thing is the level of honesty. I need someone who is willing to be completely honest with me all the time, regardless of the feelings I might have because of the things they say, or even how uncomfortable they are with it. I know when I go into a relationship, I am completely honest with the person, and I need them to be able to meet the same standard. So, Aaron, I'll pass it off to you. What do you think?
So I have to agree. For me to seek out on the mental side of it, not the physical side, but for me to feel comfortable and actually want to seek out for a relationship with someone, I have to feel that intellectually we're close enough, right? That we can hold an intelligent conversation, but we can still have our silly moments and all that. I have to be able to talk random shit that doesn't matter, like my love for technology, right? They may not care, but I at least want to be able to hold out that conversation. Um, I want whoever it is that I seek a relationship with, I want them to be a hard worker, primarily because it shows that they are not just willing to do the bare minimum, but that they're also willing to go above and beyond. And that really shows during family um, kind of relationship. When you actually get to the point of having a family, it shows that they are willing to go that extra mile to make sure that those kids or those pets or whatever are prepared and are given what they're needed.
Right. You got to make sure
Um,
the pets can go out into the real world and get a college degree.
yeah, no, seriously though, like those dogs and those cats, especially the cats, have to go to university, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, because I'm such an honest person, I want to be able to have discussions where, though it may be uncomfortable as hell, we can hold each other accountable. That we can accept where we have our failures, and for me, that's important as hell. And not just with like, oh, you did wrong, you did right, but at the same time, what makes us uncomfortable. And I struggle with that part of honesty, being able to um, say that something makes me unhappy or what have you. And so I want my partner to be able to fault me for that and me to do the same thing.
Right. Well, another thing
Zavery, go
to add
ahead.
to that is you have to be able to uh, get in a conversation with your partner and say, I did this bad thing and I'm unhappy with it and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. Yeah.
So I mean that's the hardest part. And I hold my partner to that standard, but I also falter there sometimes. So I'm a work in progress. Xavier, what do you think?
So I'm gonna go off to a different side about the character. So intellectual ability isn't my number one priority in a person. There's one specific thing I always look in a person, and that's they're caring for people, that they're super nice, doesn't put themselves in front of others whenever people are in need. Um, and it's kind of tough because just no one here really shines like that. But that's like a number one thing for me is their emotional level about being nice to others.
Level of compassion.
Yeah, level of compassion for others. Their work ethic, it has to be high. You can't. I don't see myself getting in a relationship with someone that has a dirty room or just fails all their classes because they're like, oh, I'm too lazy today. I was watching Netflix. See, I don't find that attractive. I want to have a nice, hardworking, honest girl in my life. And about the honesty part, I do agree with you guys on having a actual conversation, admitting you're wrong in some points, and being brutally honest to that. And they're honest with you back. They could say, um, David, you got mad at me for typing that, man.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't do that. That was Aaron.
But I want an honest person that can have an actual conversation with me and say, "Hey, this hurt me. And here's how you could fix it." And I will try my best to fix that. And so that's really all I have to do on their character side of things.
No, I do see some points in which people get depressed, and work ethic isn't always the
Yeah.
top priority. And in that, I understand that as long as the partner is honest with me and says, "I'm just not feeling today.
Yeah.
I'm going through some stuff." It's like there's a
Well, see,
compassion element there.
that's situational though. I mean, like
Right.
overall character, they have to be a hardworking person.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so here's another thing about that. I'm just gonna bring this in real quick.
We'll get to you, Trevor. I promise.
If the person doesn't want to fix themselves, like let's say they're sad and they're like, I don't want to do anything about this, and it's been going on for weeks and all that, when they can, that I need to see a person want to get better. Loud noises. I want to see that person strive to get better mentally and emotionally. So that's all I have to really say about character. Trevor, you can go.
Okay, so look, this goes down two completely different pathways for me. If I'm looking for a hookup, you could be a damn neo-Nazi for all I care. But if I actually want to have a relationship with you and be with you, then intellectual and work ethic and honesty is very important to me, because those are some of the main things that you build your relationship on, the discussions you have. That's how you get closer. One other thing that wasn't mentioned that's very important to me is how funny the girl is.
Yes.
I love a girl who can make me laugh or who thinks I'm funny.
Hey, yeah, that's her.
Mm-hmm.
So, how low do your standards go as far as the hookup is concerned? Because I'm curious.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like.
Okay, so
Hang on? Do you have any class when it comes to hookups, or are you just like anything will do?
no, okay, I
Anything will
have
do.
class. Like, I'm not gonna like I said earlier, you gotta be like clean. You can't be like morbidly obese. But
So like
I
a
mean,
cat.
Oh.
or a skinhead. Yes.
Oh my god.
No, Aaron, if you don't remember,
As long as you
Trevor's
got
had some
as long as you
interesting
pack in
Yeah,
some
experience
no.
with
cake.
your cat,
Trevor's got some feelings for my
specifically.
cat, which I think is why she's pregnant.
I
Honestly.
think-
Oh,
Oh
no.
no, let's not get into that. Jesus Christ.
You're
I'm
like,
just
don't make
saying,
me
for a
restart for a
hookup,
third time.
as long as you have some cake and you have something on your chest, that's I'm happy. I'm satisfied. I can ignore the swastika tattooed on her back.
So personally, I don't agree with the idea of hookups, and especially not
I
the
don't
idea of
either.
hooking up with a cat. So
No, especially not what Trevor's describing.
right. So now that
God
Trevor said those
bless.
things, I think it's perfectly reasonable for him to take the next topic, which is
Yeah,
timing.
come on, Trevor.
Okay.
So,
So timing. So timing brings us down two paths once again. So if you're just trying to lay the pipe, if you're just trying to hook up with a girl, you say I love you to that bitch within 1 week. 1 week. And because girls,
pretty hard, K.
this
Oh my
sounds
God.
horrible, but girls, they're very vulnerable. Their feelings,
Oh
they
my
want to
God.
feel loved. They want to have a man in their life, or some, not all girls, but most of them do.
This might be
And
the most sexist thing I've heard on this podcast so far. We have Aaron.
well, they want to feel loved, okay? And whenever you say that to a girl, or whenever you strongly imply it, it brings out feelings of lust, okay? Now, timing for if you want to date this girl, and if she's the one for you, if she's the one you want to spend the rest of your life with, okay? Then I think that it's more important that you don't say it too early, because if you say it too early, then I feel like it doesn't mean as much as it should. Because I love you is something very serious that you say. Because love
Oh,
is
now it's
not only
serious.
the attraction you feel to someone, that's the lust. Love is the commitment you show them. Okay?
Did you just say
So
something
can I?
reasonable?
Yeah, I know. Can I just question like what has been happening? Because you've been really retarded this entire podcast, and now you're like actually saying something smart. And it's confusing me.
You see, so I I don't know. There's just something very special to whenever you say "I love you" to a girl, and I feel like it shouldn't be immediately. In my opinion, it shouldn't even be in the first month or the first 2 months or however long, because
That was
whenever
helpful.
because one because one big way you know if you love someone is if you still have that feeling in your heart to where you want to stick by that person's side every single day of your life. And that's what love is. Not the lust, not the sexual desire, not any of that.
You know, I actually I have to full-heartedly agree. Um, like when we were in Dallas, right, and I had my little like mental breakdown. Um, well, before that, we were in that little weird import store, and I was talking about my feelings for a certain somebody, and I wasn't sure if we were going after the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, I have to agree because I've been there, and it's like, are you really there, or are you um, thinking ahead? Are you totally misreading, what the other person feels?
And I agree. I feel like subjects like love should be very like openly discussed with your partner, you know,
Yeah.
to make so that way you can make sure that you both want the same things in this relationship, because love should only be used if you want to commit to the same things, like a future together.
I think the most important prerequisite for saying the words "I love you" are can you say absolutely anything to the person and they won't run away because they're that committed? And if your partner says absolutely anything to you, are you the type of person that's not going to run away and stay committed? If that's not true, if they can say something that will immediately make you doubt the relationship, then you don't love them.
Yeah.
At least not to the depth that I think is necessary for a serious relationship.
So okay, as Trevor once said, I'm gonna take two different pathways on it, all right?
Oh my god.
Bit
But
tired of
it's
these
not gonna be as
pathways.
bad and controversial, all right? So for example, our friend group, we say I love you a lot to each other. It's see, I never really said that to any other guy friend other than you guys. And
Hey, yo, thanks, B.
um I feel like saying I love you to you guys are way different than a girl, really, because
Obviously.
yeah,
Don't
because I
kiss
know
me.
you guys.
Definitely kiss me.
I know you guys are gonna be there for me and all
Lay
that.
them smackers on me.
Um,
No, but yeah, no, I understand where you're getting at. Because with a girl, it's like there's more than just the feeling of like sacrificing for them or whatever. Because you have that also romantic side to it. But
Yeah.
with guys, or your brosivs, it's more of like, I will do some crazy shit with you, and
Yeah.
we won't speak about it again unless it's
We're
just
gonna
to
touch
each
our
other.
tongue
Yeah.
tips.
oh my god.
David, shut the hell up.
But going on the topic about girls, I so in the past I haven't really made the smart decisions with doing this, and I'm gonna start practicing in the future. So one day I could hopefully get a stable relationship.
That's not happening for you.
Damn it.
Even I have a
Um,
stable relationship, Zavery.
Uh-huh.
But
We can have one.
I feel the moment.
Oh, I just got rejected.
So my the the limit to mine is 6 months. All right, that's what I'm going to be working with in the future. 6
Really?
months. Yeah. Because 6 months. If they say it, I'm gonna say okay. But I want to genuinely mean it to the person. I want to go like, hey, even if I'm mad, if we're screaming at each other, if I say these 3 words, you know that I'm sticking with you throughout everything, even though we're fighting right now. And if I
Yeah,
say
no,
that,
that's respectable.
yeah, if something is going on between us and I hear those 3 words come out of your mouth, I'm not going to worry. I'm going to go like, I'm sticking with this person no matter what, because these genuine feelings are actually going to happen.
Genuine.
Genuine.
See,
My bad.
I feel like another way you'll know if you aren't in love with someone is if you're trying to look for ways out of the relationship with
Yeah,
that
right.
person. At that point, you should probably end it if you're trying to look for ways out and trying to look for excuses and stuff like that.
yeah, if you don't really want to hang out with the person that much, really. Yeah.
I mean, the way I knew that I needed to get out of my last relationship was I started getting feelings for other people. And I mean, crushes are regular. I mean, that just happens when you're in a relationship and you can't really do much about it. But when you start seriously thinking, this other person has qualities that I am missing in my relationship, and I don't think I'm going to get them here. I think that's obviously the point you should leave. And at that point, I think you're just pretending you actually love the person.
Yeah.
So, I mean, which is obviously not healthy.
All right. Well, we're about a minute away from a commercial break. Any closing segments?
I think I
As
just heard
Trevor,
some crickets.
I'm going to negate what Trevor says. Women
Oh,
aren't
my.
needy. They aren't as needy as he says they are. Because guys are also needy. We're not being that
Okay.
controversial.
Like, I think people our
Whoa,
age
whoa, whoa,
are
whoa.
generally pretty
Whoa.
needy. But
Yes, women, all people want to feel some type of love. Women, though, specifically women with a parental figure missing, I won't mention which one,
wow.
want to
All
find
right.
love
Hurry up.
in the arms of a man.
Okay, so now that we got the sexism out of the way, I say
Okay.
we go to commercial break.
Commercial break, and go.
Good thing the train just came by.
Yep, chop
You
it on the
guys
train.
ever want penis enlargement pills?
We are
We
back.
have returned.
Hey,
Our
wait a
disclaimer, of
second.
course,
The
still
train's going
stands.
by right now.
Oh my God, Trevor.
Alrighty, so I'll just go through the disclaimer real quick. We are not
Thank you,
experts in any sense of the word. We are 18-year-old boys, and in some instances, 12-year-old boys. Trevor. So
I'm 17.
we don't know very much about relationships. We've been in comparatively few of them. So take everything we say with at least 17 heaping grains of salt.
Yes.
Why does it keep gaining amounts?
Because as we go on, we get stupider. So,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Aaron, again, you are starting this section off.
I like who changed my name. That's nice. Um,
That was me.
so sorry. When you start indefinitely arguing with someone who you find as a partner, you will almost always find yourself in an argument in a relationship. It is going to happen. There's no way to avoid it. Compromises are not always your answer. Sometimes one of you has to man your ground. That being said, what are going to be your boundaries in an argument? You know, are you going to accept the yelling? Are you going to accept the name calling? Some people, for whatever reason, have it, you know, where they allow physical violence to happen. Personally, I'm never going to lay a hand on a woman, and I don't like yelling in a serious kind of environment. I prefer, you know, quiet talking. Yelling is more of like a fun thing for me.
That's about right.
So I just don't think the name calling and all that shit while you're having a serious argument is very useful.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Trevor, you want to take this one?
I think Trevor died.
I'm playing
Trevor may have
Assassin's
died.
Creed right now.
Oh, so you're playing a game while you're on a podcast.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Thanks for
Do
informing
not make us
of
restart
that
again. We
on
are
the
over
podcast.
halfway through.
Here. I'll put my say in it.
Trevor, yeah, okay.
So, and I highly agree with Aaron. I'm never going to touch the person I'm dating or even a woman, unless I'm getting physically assaulted. And thus I will throw hands on a bitch. But
That's when you grab a bat and you bust her knee.
God
Okay,
damn.
quick disclaimer: nobody's grabbing bats.
No.
Unless
No one less.
physically touching them and yelling at them to get your point across it doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove that you're right. It's just making your point sound stupider. But the boundaries between an argument, I don't believe you should be cussing at your whoever you're dating, unless you're like, that's stupid as fuck. But unless you're calling her you fucking bitch, yeah, that's too much. That is too much. But that's
I call myself that.
but I would like to have fun with the person. I would go like, "Are you fucking stupid?" And then just to get a giggle out of them. But
Just
go
like mental
"Oh,
abuse.
you dumbass." See, yeah, but
Make my sandwich.
but during an argument, I don't think that those words and actions should be present.
Disclaimer:
Okay.
the only one who thinks women should regularly make sandwiches is Aaron.
Okay. So,
I
personally,
don't like that disclaimer.
I believe that arguments they're very normal in relationship, but be very careful about what you say in an argument, because what you say in an argument will be held to truth 10 times more to the other person. You know what I'm saying?
It's called tenfold.
Tenfold. There we go. Tenfold. Yeah.
Right.
They'll believe it even more if you say it in an argument, and you never, ever, if you're in a fight with your girl, call out her size or anything like that. If you call out her size,
Do you
that's
have
on
personal
you for
experience with this?
What?
Trevor,
What?
this is common sense, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you call out her size, that's on you for choosing to date a damn warthog. It's not her fault. So, I also think that you should still be that
I'm so
yelling at a
disappointed.
person, having a yelling match, it usually contributes to nothing. Having an argument is normal, but not screaming at the other person full voice and calling them a stupid hoe or a pig.
Oh,
Or
we're never gonna
warthog,
get
you know?
monetized on YouTube. It's never gonna happen.
I'm not happy with what just happened.
Alrighty, so let's just bring this back to normalcy just a little bit. Take out the warthogs. So, I have a couple rules for arguments. My last couple of relationships, this one and the last one, we made agreements saying that we would do our absolute best not to yell at each other. Obviously, sometimes you have to stand your ground in an argument, make sure that you are understood, but at the same time, yelling doesn't further that cause. In my experience, yelling only serves to make the other person angry at you, and it doesn't really help anything. The other thing to note is that if a conversation is not going anywhere good, take a break from it. Take 15 minutes, go calm down, come back to it, and be willing to listen to the other person, because a lot of times conversations turn into arguments because people aren't willing to leave them for a second and calm down and think about what they're saying.
Yeah.
See, I also agree with that very much, because whenever also you have to know the person you're arguing with. For example, if they need 10 minutes to cool down, give them those 10 minutes. Don't harass them, don't surround them still, don't mock them still. Just give them the 10 minutes, or else it will make things way worse.
Yeah.
Right. Alrighty, Zavery, has everyone said all they want to say on that one?
Yeah.
Alrighty, Zavery, you have the next little point here.
So main point of this is privacy. How much privacy should be present in a marriage or even a relationship, really? For me, there are some boundaries. For example, I don't expect to search my girlfriend's phone to see if she's texting other boys. I respect her privacy. Although I do want to go on her camera roll and see what's going on. But
I'm sorry?
that's just
Okay.
but no messages. That's invading too much privacy, really, because those are her personal conversations. Those are her private things that she keeps to herself. And there needs to be some privacy, but there needs to be certain openness to a relationship. And that's really all I have to really say about that. There's some boundaries that you don't want to push.
So let me get this straight. You are okay with searching your girlfriend's images on the phone?
If I get permission.
He's just trying to find those nudies.
Exactly, David.
You naughty boy.
Wow. All right.
Okay. Well,
Aaron, what do you think?
well, I guess.
So I'm not going through their phone even if. Oh, okay. I'm not going through their phone even if they want me to. Partly because I don't care, but I also don't want to see what's on them. If I find out something, then that's cool. I'm leaving. I'm not playing that game, and I don't want to see it with my own eyes if it's through device. I want to see it, in person. So
Right.
I don't find a need to go through their phone, nor do I want to. Any other privacy matter, like if I don't know, if they wanted to, if we got to the point where we were open about each other's bodies, but they still wanted to change, in private, I'm gonna let them do that. I don't care. It's on them. Whatever they choose to do.
Right.
I'm very much about privacy, and if they want privacy, they're gonna get it.
Okay. So, the thing with me about privacy is I feel like you should respect it, because that shows that you believe them and believe in them, and there's trust. And if you're in a relationship without trust, you shouldn't be in that relationship.
Yeah.
You should not be constantly wondering if your girlfriend is receiving pictures of erected male genitalia. You shouldn't have to worry about that.
Why did you say that? Why didn't you just say like?
I feel like he has
boner?
personal experience with the things he's saying.
Oh my
Be
god.
too offensive.
You should actually trust the person, and more of the fact, if you love them, you should love them to the point that, and you should show that you love them by respecting them and their privacy.
Yeah, respect those bitches.
Yeah. Women like respect.
I respect women. Yes.
It's funny because when you say you respect women, you sound like you don't respect women.
Exactly.
Hey, are you saying that because he sounds like he's black?
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa,
That
man.
is a completely
Whoa.
nonsensical
Definitely
question.
got
All right, no,
monetized.
don't get racist, Zavery. Stop it.
Yeah, so I can't mention
I can
countries,
bring up
but
the
he
race
can mention
card.
a culture.
Is it wrong to mention a culture there, Trevor?
Everything is going on.
Jesus.
All right. That voice crack was nice, wasn't it? Right. So my take on privacy. I think I find it very important. I would never go through my girlfriend's phone. I don't think it's necessary. There's a complete trust there, and if that wasn't there, then I wouldn't be in the relationship. Most of my friends are girls, just generally speaking. That's who I talk to the most, and my girlfriend knows that. And a lot of the people she talks to are boys. Some of them are interested in her, and that's fine. But she's shown time and again that she has no intention of being with anyone but me. And so there's a complete trust there, and I have no reason not to trust her, and I definitely have no reason to go through her phone or anything. As far as the openness with the bodies thing, I don't think it's some. I will be right back. Aaron, take the wheels.
I'm taking them wheels, boys. All right. David is gone for family reasons, so we will continue without him, I suppose. So he was saying something about the privacy in bodies. I don't know what he was thinking, so we're gonna keep going. His next topic was obligations. Do married couples owe each other anything? I think if you're married, everything is joint, so there's no actual debt or owing of anything because it's already in both ownerships. Now, he also means that in a physical way. I think you should feel obligated to do sexual things or I don't know, make the other person feel very appreciated in every way that you can. Do I think that works for everybody? No. As a disclaimer, again, this isn't everybody's ideas. You know, these are just what we've picked up on as teenage horny boys.
Did someone say teenage horny boys? I'm here.
No,
Yes,
he's back.
we're
He's back.
we're on obligations.
Sorry about that. All right. Do you have things you were going to say there, Aaron, or do you want me to take me?
No, that was pretty much it.
Okay. So my leading question here is: do married couples owe each other anything? This is mainly with married couples, but some of it still applies to normal relationships. And so I've decided to get into a little bit of a dicey subject here. I was talking with my girlfriend about this recently, and the question here is that are husbands and wives obligated to satisfy each other sexually? There are lots of opinions on this. Some are that no matter what, nobody owes each other anything in a relationship. Everything should be seen as a gift. And I agree with that to an extent, but I also disagree with it to an extent. So I think that implicitly within wedding vows, you were agreeing to uphold the relationship in every part of it. Sexual needs are obviously part of that, as far as I'm concerned, and that means that those should also be upheld. Meaning that each partner should satisfy each other sexually in a somewhat regular manner. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean no can't be said. Marital rape is obviously a thing, and if someone says no, then obviously, for that moment, that's a no.
I was about to
So
say.
I don't know, Aaron. I'll let you take it from here. What do you think?
Okay, well, I already kind of going down that path. I think it's an obligation that you should try to make the other person satisfied in any manner that you can, whether it be sexual or in some weird materialistic way. No matter what, your partners, your goal in that relationship is to make each other satisfied. And so and it doesn't have to be, you know, the woman satisfies the man and the man satisfies the woman. You know, it could be anything, and that shouldn't be forced. I think that should just be something that you, as a subconscious being, kind of know that you're supposed to do that. Now, not everyone's like that, and so don't feel bad if you're not like that. It's just how we view it. Trevor, go ahead and take the wheel.
Okay, so I feel like you shouldn't whenever you're married to someone, you shouldn't feel like you have to owe them or you're obligated to do anything. You should already have that desire to do it for them without being asked. You know what I'm saying? You married that person for a reason because you love them and you have those feelings for them and you want to spend the rest of your life together. You should never go into a marriage thinking that it's going to end in divorce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, but on the flip side of that, right? It's like what's something that you've had to do your entire school year or your entire school career, for example, that you just get tired of doing? Math is a great example of this, or English, or history. There are things that you do so much that it gets tiresome, and that any joy that you had in it is gone because it's just
pretty much
forced.
become chore and it's
Is
tedious.
that I've noticed that, when I'm talking to the older people in the communities and stuff, that it's not that they didn't have that passion in the start of the marriage. It's that it lost its spark because for whatever reason they didn't feel the same as when they started, when they ended. So
Right.
there's always something that can change that way of life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so my main point of bringing this up is the idea that when it gets boring for one or both people in the relationship, both of them need to be honest with each other and
Mhm.
work out some sort of way to make it exciting again.
Because I feel
Because
like
as far as I'm concerned, sex is an important part of any relationship, and it's something that needs to be upheld if the relationship as a whole is going to stay healthy.
Yes. And I feel like if you don't have those conversations with your significant other, it opens the door to things like cheating and stuff like that. Because
Yeah.
a lot of men, if they aren't being sexually desired by you, they'll find another man. They'll find another woman to.
Oh.
Wow.
to
Or
be,
another man, depending on
yes, depending on
whatever the
which way you
sexuality might
swing,
be.
but to
Zavery.
receive that satisfaction from.
So my opinion about this topic is I believe there's three things that you do owe the significant other: love, affection, and support. That's physical things like a couch or TV. I don't really care, honestly. If I'm going to be happy with you forever and die with you, those are the things that I believe that you owe me. Not owe, but should give me, and I should give you. But about the sexual needs, about satisfying each other, I do believe that does play a big role because, for example, we are teenagers. Right now we are more driven than you know what
He's
I'm
saying
talking
we're
about.
horny.
Yes. And right now that's it. It plays a big factor for everyone. You can't have a relationship where you're like, this person isn't really satisfying me. And once you're not satisfied with something, you search for something that does satisfy you, that gives you the happiness that wasn't fulfilled. About wedding vows, you have to stick to those. If you don't stick to those, then you aren't really invested in the relationship, in my opinion. You don't stick by the rules that you set in place for yourself. So I believe that support, love, and affection are the top three things that you owe me if I'm dating you, and I'll return the same thing back equally if you give me those things back. And that's really all I have to say about that.
There we go. Sorry again. Craig hates us, so that's fine. Alrighty, has everyone said what they'd like to about the owing people things?
Yes.
Alrighty, so we have about 5 minutes left, so I thought we'd go over some personal tidbits. Everyone's bored, so if we have some suggestions for what people might be able to do during quarantine, that might be helpful.
I have a personal tidbit real quick though about like the actual subject we were talking
We've moved
about.
on, but go ahead.
So so from my personal experience, I can say that relationship based on love and the intellectual and the companionship and the feelings you have for the other person and the truth goes so much smoother than a relationship just based on sex.
You don't say. That doesn't take a fucking scientist.
Sometimes it does.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe if your name is Trevor and you
Alright.
have the IQ of a 5-year-old.
Whoa. You can bring this up with Zavery too.
All right, so
Zavery's
moving on to
also a
personal
5-year-old.
tidbits.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So Aaron, go ahead and talk about your suggestion.
Oh, okay. So if you're bored during quarantine, what you can always do is work out. Just the way that I always say it, working out is the best way to improve your body. And it makes you, once you're out of quarantine, you look great. So, I mean, there's that. But it also makes you feel refreshed when you get done. You know, you can go hop in the shower, wash all that sweat off, and boom, you feel 100 times better. You've already made yourself healthier than you were the day before. It is wonderful. I promise you, once you get into it, you're going to love it.
So now that Aaron is done with his anti-obesity campaign, I I would recommend pursuing hobbies such as a fun card game that you can play with your friends and family. Magic the Gathering. So,
I love it.
or learning how to play a musical instrument, or writing simply poetry. Those are all great things you can do to keep yourself occupied right now.
So, what I've done this quarantine is I got a new job. And if you don't already have a job, get a job if you can. I know it's hard during these times though, but it having a job not only gives you money, it keeps you from the boredom. Really, you get to do different stuff. You get to make new friends that are coworkers. Gets you out of the house where you're not only sitting in bed, but you're actually doing something for the world. So go out and see if you can get a job. See if you can walk dogs, pick up trash, or just assign yourself a job. Go on the side of the road, pick up trash, make the world better. And
Hey, Xavier, you're forgetting about, actual quarantine people.
Yeah, we're supposed to stay inside, Xavier.
do I
Yeah,
care?
Xavier.
Do I care?
Your
I have to
your
go to Chicken
suggestion
Express.
voids everything that has been recommended to us by the government.
Okay, I don't care.
Anyways, so David is having trouble with the internet, in case you guys are wondering.
Okay.
So another little subtopic we have on here is podcasting. So, I mean, the whole reason we even started this thing is because we were bored and we wanted to talk to each other, and we felt that some of the conversations we have are kind of entertaining, and so it it just gives you something to do. It doesn't feel like we're talking for too long, and it ends up being 50 minutes, or like our first episode, almost 2 hours. So there's always that. And then there's the option of music, and you can either be listening to new music, finding new artists that you love, or you could be writing music. As we go over every fucking podcast, I've recently picked up guitar. Zavery has recently gone back to playing guitar on
Yes,
a
sir.
normal basis.
I've also
He's also
picked up
started singing.
piano.
Trevor's apparently picked up piano, even though he's not part of our podcast on a normal basis. So there's always something to do, and don't feel like you're trapped. I'm sure there's something in your building, whether it be an apartment, condo, or a house, that you can be doing. So no matter what, you can always be a productive member of society in some fashion, whether it be in art, whether it be just you improving yourself, or finding something to do to help there's always something.
For sure, yeah.
On that note, it's time to leave. So we appreciate you guys listening in. Thank you. If you care to support us, we do have a sponsorship campaign going, and
And
you can donate to us if you really wish to.
for future episodes, I would like to inform the audience. Soon we have Hayden Bartlow coming on soon, and
Hayden's coming?
we also have Bryant McGiff joining us in upcoming podcasts. So yeah, stick to that too. Yeah.
Do be looking out for those. I did kind of forget to mention that. So good job, Zavery.
Thank you.
Next episode, Zavery will not be joining us. We are uncertain of Trevor. So
I'll probably. Is it tomorrow?
yes,
It
it is
is
tomorrow.
tomorrow,
I
yeah.
just said that.
Okay, I'll probably be there. Maybe.
Okay, well, David is back. So for all we know, it is going to be David and I. We are uncertain of who our next, who our person to fill Zavery's spot is going to be. So if you are interested in finding that out, go ahead and check out tomorrow's episode. And on that note, we're gone.